and you get the price growth, whatever the price growth is, right? So then the question, how do I? And this really brings me to the question about the margin. How should I think about the margins, right? So you start with, you start with a situation when they used to have the gross margin about 24%. Well, now it's down to about 21%. I mean, and they are telling us that they didn't tell us this is because PET is dilutive. They told us that the reason for that is the higher raw material prices, and indeed the raw material prices are this year much higher. So
again, I think. Well, then go ahead. Why don't you ask your question? Go ahead.
No. I mean, the question really, what do you think about it, right? Because the prices are, well, depending on the raw material, but we're talking double-digit higher. So could be 10%, could be 20%. The differences would be higher in dollars, would be lower in euro. So in euro, call it mid-single digits to low double digits. In dollars, call it 10 to 20%. But overall, there is clearly there's been a lot of inflation in raw materials this year. So this, well, they say that this affected the margin. So do you agree that this is the issue? This is the most important issue, and would they be able to pass it through, and when, and to what extent? A lot of questions, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
So you've asked multiple questions. So question number one, or answer number one, by far the biggest issue is raw materials. Right. So what we just talked about, which is a whole discussion around mix, if you will, that's a secondary issue compared to the magnitude of the raw materials.
Yeah.
Okay. And the question then becomes, what happens in the future? When you step back and I'm not going to make any predictions on where oil is going to go, right? But it's hard, in my view, it's hard to see a situation where oil is rising dramatically and inflation for PVC and PET doesn't stop rising. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if oil was to start to drop dramatically, I do think that you will see a margin rebound, just because not just for Klöckner or for PVC or PET, but I think just in terms of just chemicals as a general rule. When raw materials are dropping, you can hold on to your margins a lot longer. Okay, so I think for me that's kind of step one is what's your view on where oil is going. I think the second discussion that you have to then look at, and again, unfortunately, all things aren't equal, right? But if you take a look at what happened in 2017, you had a scenario in which PET especially, I'm sorry, PVC had a dramatic increase. Was up double digits for sure. But you were in a backdrop which you did not have a massive inflation bubble going through the entire overall chemicals market. Right? So if you think from a customer point of view, if everybody is saying there's benign inflation and somebody shows up and says, "Oh, I got 10%," the customers are not willing to roll over and say yes. As opposed to an environment in which everything's up 10%, right?
Yeah, got it.
The customer reaction is extremely different, right? So I think you've got, the first question you have to ask yourself is what's your view on where oil is going and therefore the underlying trend. Second, I think you have to ask yourself, is PVC an outlier from a customer point of view, or is PVC